first down and then some, and there's that speed. He responds by throwing to Matthews, who throws down the field, and it is caught. Karen going to throw, and wide open is Graney. St. John's Prep.
Wow.
This one's good! And intercepted by Anthony Caruso. Looks in the end zone, trying to escape the pocket, throws, he's got a man! Bland breaks the tackle at the 25, and look out. Inside the 10, the 5, touchdown Exeter. The Lancers Ogden to the air, jump ball, pulled in. The standing motion, this time it's held left side. He finds the end zone. Handoff for Batstone, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. Handoff Isaac trying to get to the edge, and he's got a first down and then some. On off, left tackle, plenty of room. Untouched to the 15, got his eye on the end zone, and he gets there for the touchdown. Right side help, gets around Caruso, hit at the goal line and in. Aaron rolls right, throws, and he's caught by Grady for the touchdown. Eyes downfield, gonna plant, gonna fire. Looking into the end zone, Dylan! Well, hello everyone, and welcome here to Bedford. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you, getting set for our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance, Pinkerton, and Bedford in this 2024 NHIAA Football Division I Semifinal. Two of the most respected programs statewide squaring off for the second time this season. These two teams met on this field back in week number 6, and it was a tight one up until the end. Bedford escaped with a 28-25 three-point victory. They finished the season undefeated for a second straight year, are the top seed in this year's Division I tournament, and are perhaps 2 games away from a three-peat after winning the whole thing in both 2022 and 2023. Standing in their way is Pinkerton. They're always on the short list. They're hoping to get back to the championship round for the first time since 2017. The roadblock, so to speak, has been in this semifinal round over the last several seasons. Star-studded affair. Household names on both sides of the field. And we are in for some weather, as the rain is expected to begin really at any moment. But that has not deterred the spirits of this crowd. And, Steve, we know we're going to get what should be a classic here tonight between the Astros and Bulldogs.
Yeah, no matter how big the trees are, the two bulldozers that are clearing this land, Nick, we're going to go right through the weather. They're going to go right through everything, and it's not going to get in their way. These teams are, completely committed, and you can just see that both of these teams now, Coach O'Reilly talking about it last night on Gridiron, they can pass the ball as often as they want. That has not been the case every single year, but they've got such a great running attack. That's what they use first. They'll be healthy tonight. Jamie Isaac and Matt Morrison will be in and are healthy and ready to go. That was not the case in the first game. Jamie Isaac wasn't even in the game, and Matt Morrison was out in the midway through the first quarter with a broken finger on a kind of a freak special teams play. So they are ready to go. They're full. They're healthy. So we heard Zach Matthews. His team is ready to go as well. He's very open and honest last night about how Bedford has started out slow but finished. Been very proud of the way they finished in the second half. Being behind 14 points behind Alverin is not easy. So this is going to be a beauty tonight, Nick. Look forward to it. And we are going to see a war today and a war tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. All right. When we come back, starting lineups, coin toss, national anthem, and then kickoff at the top of the hour. Semifinal number 1, just minutes away. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include discount tickets, cards, and calendar raffles to hundreds of local merchants throughout the New England area. Don't waste another season. Raise more funds than ever before and become another football program in New Hampshire that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today. Colonial Printing is family owned and celebrating 50 years of quality print services for New Hampshire businesses and can help yours as well. Whether it's creative design, digital or offset printing, or banners and signs, with state-of-the-art technology, unlimited industry sources, and the ability to think outside the box, Colonial Printing will help you get your job done. To see their full list of services, promo products, and portfolio, or to request an estimate, visit colonialprintingnh.com. That's colonialprintingnh.com.
We're back here at Bulldog Stadium, closing in on the top of the hour kickoff in this semifinal between Pinkerton and Bedford. The captain's set to meet at midfield here momentarily for the opening coin toss. Nick and Astis, Steve Beals with you. Bedford seeking a third straight Division I championship. Pinkerton hoping for their first title in a decade. Steve, what's it come down to tonight? We'll get those thoughts in just a moment as we have the national anthem here coming up. It'll be performed live by the Bedford High School Marching Band. Well, there it is, the national anthem. Job well done by the Bedford High School Marching Band. All right, Steve, give me the keys here. What's it going to be for both teams here?
Ball security tonight is going to be a huge – these teams, I believe, Nick, are so evenly matched. We'll see what the score is, but you got to believe going into this game that with both teams full strength now, this has got to be pretty even. You have a little history to go by with only a 3-point difference. So ball security – if you give the ball up in a situation where you're giving the other team an opportunity to have a short field to score, that's going to be huge as far as I'm concerned. Special teams are going to be a huge part of this as well. Look at the kickoff returners that both of these teams got. Matt Morrison, Jamie Isaac. You've got Bennett. You've got the great running back
Brody Helton.
Brody Helton. Thank you. You've got all four of those guys running back. I'm not sure you want to kick it to any of them, Nick, early in the game until you get a flow of what's going on. Beyond that, Jack May. Jack May has all the respect in the world of Coach O'Reilly. He's seen a few quarterbacks in his day, and there's a reason for it. He has the ability just to just not telegraph, but just feed passes so quickly. Quick release. He rolls out beautiful. He's got great form. But on the other end, Evan McDonald. So I think the quarterback play tonight, Nick, is going to be big. These are both great quarterbacks, well-trained. That's going to be a factor. The last factor is Ken, Jamie, and the defensive Isaac and the defensive core stop this passing attack that's still going to be here. Zach Matthews said he doesn't mind if for 1 second passing the ball in any kind of weather. That's going to be a big factor tonight. Last thing, Bedford offensive line is going to have to be able to create space for Brody Helton in order to be the full package that they've been able to win these games on, and they have to start strong. Zach Matthews last night said that's been a concern because their second half has been stellar all year long.
Bedford had to do it from behind in the quarterfinal round. Gave up 14 points out of the gate against number 8 seed Alvern, but did have the last laugh, scoring the final 24 in a 10-point win. Pinkerton held off a stubborn Wyndham team in the quarterfinal round. The Astros dispatched of Merrimack in the opening round. Top seed Bedford, of course, had a bye to begin the tournament. Bulldogs have won 26 in a row, dating back to the end of the 22 regular season. They ran the table as a 10 seed that year to win their third championship in school history. Did it as a 3 seed last year, despite the 9-0 record. This year, one of 2 unbeaten teams in Division I's regular season. Exeter will face Londonderry tomorrow in Exeter. Pinkerton, they will get the ball first. Bedford won the toss, deferred to the second half, so we'll see the Astro offense, assumingly, momentarily.
I was just going to mention, Nick, that's another key. Can Bedford's defense stop Matt Morrison? This guy has been able to shred defenses all across. They faced a really solid defense last week, one of the best, I think, in Wyndham, and they struggled to stop Matt Morrison pretty much through most of 3 quarters of football. So that's going to be a big task for both of these teams to stop both their star runners.
So Bedford in their home blacks set to kick right to left in this first quarter. Placing the ball on the tee is Zach Petrie, the senior right-footed kicker. And again, the very dangerous Morrison is back deep for Pinkerton.
And they're going to kick to him.
Yep. This one will take a bounce inside the 15. Morrison to his right. Make that Spellman, the sophomore, picks it up at the 12 and is dropped right there. Well, Bedford able to swarm the young returner, and Pinkerton forced to operate 1st and 10 from their 12-yard line. That will give us a look at the junior quarterback, Aiden McDonald. Did not throw a pass last week in the win over Wyndham. We spoke with Coach O'Reilly last night on FNL Gridiron. He said that's just fine. No need to throw.
He doesn't mind. It's a single wing offense. It's prepared just like the Coach Ball's offense, same situation. They're perfectly fine to run the ball. They'll take that 4 or 5 yards up front. But how about Bedford? What a great kick. Stopped kind of short. Reminded me of the kick last week from Londonderry to South.
A 5-man front for the Bulldogs on 1st and 10. It's a handoff right side and a good strong run up across the 20.
Yeah.
It's Quintilani, the senior. He's been in and out of the lineup with injuries this year, but healthy on that carry as he's out to the 24 for a first down.
Watch the down block here, and just a great decoy handoff by Evan McDonald. Just a terrific job. Watch this. Watch the kick. Look at that. Completely caved in the center part of the Bedford line. Good call for the first play.
Tackled by Dustin Walcott. Meanwhile, this play is blown dead as a flag flies. Pinkerton clapping their hands. This may be encroachment against the Bulldogs.
Interesting. He's got, looks to me, Nick, like Jamie Isaac is the one that's going off the field. No, McDonald's over there as well. So
it's a 5-yard penalty against Bedford. So a 1st and 5.
That defense is
Pinkerton.
Dug in and aggressive. You're going to have to contain that, but you can certainly understand that early on, Nick, where they've been waiting for this game all week.
And again, an extra body up front, a 5-man front.
Yeah, it's a good front as well. But so is the offensive line of the Astros.
1st and 5. Handoff, right side run. Isaac makes a cut, tumbles his way across the 35 for a first down.
Yeah, they're making up ground quickly. Bedford had him deep in the end. Right now, that Pinkerton Astro offensive line is just doing a great job, Nick. They're firing off in synchrony, and they're getting out really low. A lot of double teams out there trying to double team the tackle down low inside. We'll see if they keep doing that.
An 8-yard gain sets up a 1st and 10 from the Astro 43. Isaac again, this time
into a wall.
He is repelled. There's 4 different Bulldogs on the scene, including the big defensive lineman Connor Flaherty, the junior, leading the charge there. It's going to be a loss of about a yard, 2nd and 11.
And that gets the Bedford crowd into it. Really starting to fill up. People are still filing in here, 15, 20 at a time. So looks like the weather may be resistant to some, but not to many.
42 degrees and rainy. And
it's raw.
That should be the forecast throughout the game. 2nd down and 10. No gain on that run from Isaac. Here's Morrison's first carry. Left side, jumps through the line, and skirts his way across the 45 to the 46 for a gain of 7. So the game's first 3rd down on the way, 3rd and 3 for Pinkerton.
Yeah, so many great runners, Nick, this year that are running the ball for these last 4 teams standing here. Morrison's one of them. The way he plants that outside foot, and just turns upfield. He reads his blocks as good as anybody. I would put Brody Helton and Matt in that same category. These guys are both terrific.
Well, there were 2 candidates for the UKICA Player of the Year award.
Well deserved.
2 receivers right on 3rd down. It's Quintilani, and he will not make it.
Be an interesting call by Coach O'Reilly.
Wrapped up by Matt Ben, one of those juniors up front for Bedford. Gave him a bear hug in the hole.
Yeah.
No gain, 4th down and 2 officially, with the ball just shy of the 47-yard line.
Yeah, it looks to me.
Closer to 4th and 1.
Yeah, McDonald is in the game, so it looks to me. I'm surprised he didn't call Matt Morrison in that situation, Nick. But Quintilani's been a stud for him at the same time. So either one, that was just a great defensive fill.
4th down, Pinkerton going to go for it. Pitch right side on the ground. Isaac picks it up, cuts back left, and has a first and then some. He's going to turn on the gas. Down the sideline, 1 man to beat, and Isaac is in the end zone for a 53-yard touchdown. And a broken play turns into a big play as Pinkerton strikes first with 3.5 minutes gone by.
Wow, Nick, that ball bounced straight up, and Isaac he maintained focus, Nick. That was the key. He didn't panic. He maintained focus, and boy, I was just about to say, you got to get the first down, Jamie, first, but he saw some space. Watch him. He didn't have the first down there, but he saw that open space. He had the edge, and look at that rocket speed. You saw that in the open.
Extra point try. Up and good off the right foot of John Pappas, the junior. So 7-0 Pinkerton. They roll the dice on a 4th and 1 near midfield. The pitch was dropped, recovered by Isaac. He changes field direction, and then he's off to the races.
I just can't believe the recovery. Total focus on getting the ball first. He didn't panic. He didn't fall on it. Thought he was just going to fall on it, but knew with that bounce, that was a good bounce for him. Watch it right here. You're going to see. Straight back up, and then he just goes in the reverse direction. Boy, the vision he had to know that he had that edge from way in the other side of the ball. But, boy, when you got blazing speed like that and running style like Jamie Isaac, that's what's going to happen.
He is a state champion track runner for Pinkerton.
No surprise
in
there.
the offseason. And you could see there the sheer speed. He's been in and out of the lineup really the last 2 seasons.
Yep.
But fully healthy here tonight. And he shows you there what he can do as Pinkerton strikes first. 7-0 here on the road. And now the onus is on Bedford to respond. Just 3:39 in.
Coach O'Reilly rolling the dice on 4th down midfield. Says he's obviously in it to win it at this point. He knows how important it is not to try to give Bedford back the possession.
Pinkerton
but there is a risk to it.
Pinkerton hoping to get back to the championship game for the first time since 2017. This kick is headed towards the sideline. It'll be fielded by Helton inside the 5. He's up to the 10, 15, 20. There's a flag on the play as he makes the 30. His tackle just shy of the 35-yard line, but again, a penalty marker down back at the 15.
Yeah, either a block, usually that's a block in the back or a hold. He's pointing towards Bedford, and it's a hold. That's a big one.
So this will come back a bit. A referee tonight, Steve Hall. A veteran crew on hand for this semifinal. Umpire Rick Brownlee. Kevin Bolduc is the head linesman. The line judge is Kyle Schofield. And Tim Leaf is the back judge.
All-star lineup right there, Coach. We always talk, Steve Hall is among the best of them. He really knows how to lead a crew, communicates, always looking for communication from his assistants, and he just handles the game extremely well. So always good when you see Steve Hall and his crew out there. That's a good group.
So this ball will be placed back inside the 9-yard line as Bedford's offense comes onto the field for the first time. They're led by senior quarterback Jack May, who has been outstanding this season.
Absolutely.
And, of course, standing behind him in the pistol formation is the junior running back Brody Helton. High snap on 1st and 10. Helton goes up the middle. He's met by Quintilani in the hole and is not going to get much, maybe a yard there, as Pinkerton able to swarm and hold Helton officially to a 2-yard gain.
Yeah,
2nd down and 8.
Obviously, look to me, I think that was on a Asanya blitz, Nick. Went right through the hole, kind of caused havoc in the backfield. You'll see there on the replay. And defensive line just held their gaps extremely strong.
2nd and 8. You can hear the Pinkerton band playing on the far sideline. They made the trip over from Derry. And the shotgun is made to his left. Now moving right is Helton, and they're going to whistle this dead. False start against Bedford. That's the 3rd Bulldog penalty here in this first quarter. And it comes with just 4.5 minutes gone by. So not quite in sync. We talked with Coach Zach Matthews last night. He said he and his staff were trying to invent ways to get their guys to come ready to play after falling behind 14-0 against Alvern. He's hoping to avoid that early hold tonight, but again, 3 penalties so far against the Bulldogs.
Yeah, 3 penalties, Nick. I mean, there's only been a few plays, but this has been consistent with some of the problems that Bedford's had. What they have been able to do against very good teams, Nick, is come from behind and win. That game against Alvern was really pretty magnificent if you review that game. So we'll see what happens here against the Astros if they can do the same. But
3 receivers set. Handoff Helton, and he's met immediately.
Yeah,
that's James Caruso, the junior, protecting the edge well for Pinkerton. Makes his first tackle, and now a 3rd and long on the way for the home team.
Yeah, we talked about James last night. Coach O'Reilly speaks very highly of him. Yeah, that's just great shed right there. Looked like the offensive line of Bedford's coming out a little high, and they're getting beat low, and they're getting the separation. That being the Astros that they need. All heads up and meeting behind the line. The only way you can get a Morrison style and the top runners in the league, Brody Heltons of the world, like right there, you've just got to tackle in the backfield. They're too good once they get through the line.
2 backs in the backfield along with May. Going to take a snap here from the end zone on 3rd and 15. It's a screen near side. Westcott on the catch, breaks the first tackle attempt, but is not going to get much. Tackled near the original line of scrimmage at the 9-yard line. So a 5-yard gain will bring up 4th down and 10 as we hit the midway point of this first quarter.
Unbelievable, Nick. Right now the defensive line is just controlling the trenches completely here. That's a heck of a stand. So Bedford really needs to get a productive kick here to get the field position out towards the middle of the field.
Got to be careful here as Helton, the punter, is standing midway into his own end zone. Takes a good snap. This one is a high kick. It's going to float to the near sideline, take a bounce shy of the 30, and roll backwards before it's down at about the 28-yard line. So a short field here for the Pinkerton offense. They're already out in front 7-0. If you're just joining us, it was a big play on 4th and 1 that got the Astros on the board. A 53-yard run by Jamie Isaac. on what appeared to be a broken play.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it was a fairly decent kick. Not great, but it was that backward movement, Nick, and they weren't able to pounce on it right away. That they lost about 5 or 6 yards there.
So 1st and 10 coming from the Bulldog 28 on Pinkerton's second drive. McDonald with Quintilani and Isaac behind him. Morrison is the wingback in motion. Movement up front. No flag. Isaac is crushed. 3 yards deep in the backfield. Isaac met by Helton.
Looked like some confusion, Nick. Just looked somewhat like a broken play here. Just didn't get off well. And what a great job by Bedford. That defensive line is motivated. They know they opened up some good green space for Brody to get through. He is not just a great running back. He's a great defensive player as well. He's shown it all year long. He's rugged. He's just got great eyes to read on both sides of the ball, Nick.
Gets a lot of attention for what he does with the football in his hands, but as you mentioned, he's been one of Bedford's tackle leaders this season. Morrison on 2nd and 13, trying to get back to the 30, still on his feet before it's finally blown dead. He's gang tackled at the 30.
It's a good defensive stand by Bedford. They are getting off the ball now extremely well.
Just a yard there for Morrison on his second carry.
They look terrific right now, Nick. Just looks like there's some adjustments made. Looks to me like the tackles, Nick, they're putting a little bit more on the inside.
That was the junior Brennan Krause.
They got a 5-man front.
With Krause over the nose.
Yeah.
3rd down and 12 as we hit the 4-minute mark, first quarter. Pinkerton hoping to get the football inside the 20. They'll throw for the first time. Caruso bobbled it, and the ball ends up incomplete.
He had it.
That's Anthony Caruso. We mentioned his younger brother, James. This is the senior Anthony who did have it initially, couldn't reel it in on his way to the ground, and now a 4th and 12 on the way for Pinkerton.
Still think that might have been a yard and a half short, Nick, even if he had caught the ball there. But probably, without a doubt, if he had caught that, I'm sure Coach O'Reilly in that situation would have gone gone on 4th down. We'll see what happens here. To me, the percentages work pretty good. You may want to try it here.
Well, he's going to keep his quarterback in the huddle.
Yeah, he wants to keep the Bedford offense off the field, Nick, and is willing to put up ante up pretty good to try to do that. But
so McDonald under center on 4th down and 12. Takes the snap, play action. Steps up in the pocket, throws down the middle, and this time it's caught by Caruso. He's inside the 10 and tackled at the 9-yard line. Stop made there by Bedford's Noah Casamassino.
We were talking about that last night, Nick, about McDonald's velocity. I was talking to Coach O'Reilly about it, and this kid can fire a ball. I was down on the field the other day against Wyndham pregame, and like I said, that ball comes out like a cannon off this guy's arm. It gives a defensive back very little time to react. Caruso on a wet night with a great reception there, pulling that in.
A 21-yard pickup. Pinkerton now 2 for 2 on 4th down. Handoff on 1st and goal from the 9 is for Quintilani, and the fullback lucky to scratch out a yard there as Jacob Sheff, senior defensive end for Bedford, was on him immediately. It's a 1-yard gain, 2nd and goal coming up.
Yeah, Jacob's a great football player. My understanding is I talked to his folks. He's headed over to Bates College, so boy, he'll have some fun playing some football in that NESCAC league next year. Congratulations to Jake. He's earned it.
Inside of 3 minutes remaining, first quarter. Pinkerton threatening to take an early 2-score lead on 2nd and goal. Isaac trying to dance out of a jam, and he's spun down in the backfield. That's Sheff again, able to penetrate, and now another 3rd down and long on the way for Pinkerton.
Yeah, he's pumped up tonight. So big 3rd down right here. I'm actually a little surprised that Coach O'Reilly didn't go to the air on that on 2nd down.
Instead, they stay on the ground. They lose 3 yards.
Stay on the ground. It's a high percentage play, but Morrison getting some carries, Nick, but 2 carries so far. That's a little surprising to me that he hasn't got more. Bedford just doing a great job controlling the gaps themselves.
3rd and goal from the 10. McDonald going to put Isaac in motion to the near side, take the snap, fake the handoff, throws left side, caught in the flat. It's Caruso, comes down the middle, and he stops shy of the goal line. Undercut at about the 1-yard line. So a 4th and goal from the 1 coming up here for the Astros.
Boy, what a weapon he is in the air, Nick. He's got a radius the size of a truck. I mean, it's just incredible. And the way he pulls the ball in to get it into his chest to avoid a drop and incomplete is really impressive. This is a big play in this game, Nick. I can't emphasize enough. This weather is going to get worse as time goes on from what they're predicting. So early points, being able to run your offense a little more open-ended is key here. This is a big play for both of these teams.
Pinkerton 2 for 2 on fourth down so far. Can they go 3 for 3? Handoff Morrison. He's got the hole and he's got the touchdown.
That's a big touchdown at this point.
A 1-yard touchdown run for the senior Matt Morrison. Pinkerton capitalizes on the great field position.
Well,
and they do it on fourth down yet again. It's 13-0 Astros.
Let's take a look at the blocking that he got. Absolutely owned the defensive tackle. I don't know who the blocker was. I don't know who the tackle was. It doesn't matter. Oh, there it is right there. I'm going to get the number 62. Got completely blocked out.
Now Pappas with the extra point.
Terrific job.
High kick up and good as it sneaks inside the right upright. 14-0 Pinkerton. With just over a minute to go in this opening quarter. So there's that quote-unquote passing game, sure, for Pinkerton. We see the dynamicism of Aiden McDonald on that drive. And more importantly, the home team hoping to avoid that early hole.
Yeah.
Not going to happen tonight.
Yeah, not going to happen tonight. But Bedford has a history, Nick, no matter who it is, of having that extra gas in the second half. But they really need to get going now in the second quarter, Nick, with only a minute left in the first. They really need to answer back here because, you know, one thing for sure, inclement weather, the way they're predicting it, is going to make it difficult to open up that passing playbook. Jack May has got the ability, and their receivers got the ability. Bennett Matthews, one of the best in the business. But it's not the same as the way the weather is right now. So they need to answer back and get within a score, but never count these Bulldogs out. Coach O'Reilly not afraid at all to put McDonald-Caruso connection to work here, and it's paid off on some big plays.
Pappas set for the kick. Swings the right leg, and this is a deep drive down the middle. Helton inside the 3. Cautiously crosses the 10, 15.
Oh,
tripped
what a
up at
tackle.
the 20. And it's leaned forward to where? About
Spellman?
The 22-yard line.
Yeah,
that was Spellman who got him by the ankle.
Yep, what an open field tackle that was.
The sophomore was pressed into action during the regular season meeting between these two teams. You mentioned in the pregame when Matt Morrison went down with the finger.
Yeah.
It was Spellman who stepped up, took a lot of those carries out of the backfield, and we called his name quite a bit on defense as well.
Yeah, he's good. He is a heck of a football player, Nick. And Coach O'Reilly's got him for 2 more years after this. Boy, he's got to be licking his chops as far as having a talent like that. He's got it all.
So here's Bedford on their second drive. They're going to roll out May on 1st and 10. He's still got the ball on the sideline before he's tackled from behind.
That's
he tiptoes across
sack.
the 25 to the 27.
That's a great coverage
Caruso
sack.
is there for the tackle for Pinkerton.
Watch Pinkerton. They're aware very quickly what this is. They knew they had the defensive trail assets after May. So what happened is the backs went right back. Now watch this. Watch how they read and react here on the right side of your screen. You're going to see it. Comes over. What do? They're angling back, and they're cutting down all Jack May's opportunities to throw the ball. And that is a great defensive play. Good teamwork right there by the Astros.
May with a 2-yard gain. 2nd down and 8 for Bedford. Final 15 seconds here of the first quarter. Helton in motion. Shotgun snap. May. Pump fake. The senior steps up. Throws it. It's intercepted. Picked off by Morrison. He's going to break to his right, and it's a pick 6.
Wow, he read that beautiful.
Is going to take a 3-score lead here in the first quarter. A great read, a great reaction, and then Morrison was gone after the interception.
Yeah, Jack's uncomfortable there, Nick. The Pinkerton Astros are closing off his primary receiver. He wanted Helton, and he was completely covered. So watch. He goes back. He's looking for Helton. He's not there, and then he throws it down to Bennett, his number 2 in that situation, and Morrison. So it was kind of telegraphed there. That's very un-Jack May-like. But Morrison is fit there for the test and takes it to the house.
Extra point from Pappas is good.
Wow.
21-0. A 32-yard interception return for a touchdown by Matt Morrison. It comes on the heels of his 1-yard score a moment ago on 4th and goal.
That is a potent machine running right now. We talked, Nick, I've been talking about this for weeks. Without Matt Morrison and Jamie Isaac in the game, you take them out of this game, what happens? It's the depth that it creates, and it's not just the offensive side of the ball, it's the defensive side. That is a first-rate defensive back. It wouldn't surprise me if Matt Morrison gets drafted for a defensive back position in college if he wants to play, Nick. But he's so good, he probably could play anywhere. But it wouldn't surprise me in the least. He's got great vision. He's got great reaction speed, great recovery speed, and he's just an extremely smart football player.
Was over 100 yards on the ground last week in the quarterfinal win over Wyndham. Had come back into action, I believe, just prior to that in the first-round win over Merrimack.
Yeah.
He had missed the final 3 games of the regular season with that broken finger. But that is all in the distant past at this point.
This is where Bedford's been able to answer back, Nick. They get down. I watched the games, and then all of a sudden they bust something open that changes momentum. If Pinkerton can cut that down, that's going to go a long way for the Astros. You got to be careful with this Bedford, what can happen.
Here's Helton again on the return over the 20 as a seam up the middle, 30. Before he's tumbled down at about the 35-yard line. A good return.
Very good return.
And a good tackle by the kicker, Pappas.
Yep.
Who makes the stop for Pinkerton. That will bring us to the end of the first quarter, and what a quarter it was for the number 4 seed. Pinkerton, a 21-0 lead over the defending champs. Bedford looks to respond when we come back. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Second quarter here in Bedford. While we were away, a 6-yard pickup on the ground there from Bulldog quarterback Jack May. That's going to bring up a second down and 4. Pinkerton with a 21-0 lead. They scored 2 touchdowns on offense, both coming on 4th down. And then a pick 6 a moment ago extended the lead to 3 touchdowns. Meanwhile, on 2nd and 4, Helton with a full head of steam is going to pick up the Bulldogs' first down of this first half as he spilled down at about the 48.
But they move the sticks, Nick, and that's what they need to do here. The further you get down the field towards midfield here, Coach Matthews can open up his playbook, start spreading things out a little bit. So far, which I think is very important for Bedford here, Nick, is the weather is holding out. Not to say that you can't pass in the rain, you can, but the margin of error is very, very thin when you have real inclement weather. Right now, holding up, Bedford needs this to continue.
After the 7-yard pickup.
They loading the left here.
It's 1st and 10 for Bedford. They're going to run to the right with Bennett Matthews. The coach's son is going to take the ball up to midfield for a short 2-yard gain. That's his first touch of this first half.
Yeah, they had him behind the line, and Bennett, such a great athlete. Watch him here. They really had him right at the line there, and he just kept his feet moving, got him 2 or 3 yards. Very important. Bedford needs to move the sticks here. Sorry, Nick.
Tackled by Konstantinos Savas, one of the senior linebackers, with his first stop for Pinkerton. 2nd down and 8 from midfield. Bulldogs trying to get into Pinkerton territory for the first time. Plenty of time for May. He's going to throw this deep down the sideline, intended for Westcott, and it's incomplete. Covered well, and now did that flag? Yes, there it is.
Yeah, they're going to give it to him. Absolutely.
It was
He
Anthony
did not look back.
Caruso in coverage, and you're right, he did not turn the head, so the first Pinkerton penalty is going to give Bedford a first down.
Jack threw a good ball right there. Yeah, clear interference there.
We saw 3 penalties against the home team for a combined 20 yards. This one goes against Pinkerton for the first time, so the football is going to give, where are they going to place it here? It's still yet to mark it off. You see our referee Steve Hall in the middle of the Bedford huddle at midfield.
Yeah, I think if Caruso turned around with his height, he may have had an opportunity there. But May threw it just long enough, and I think he was nervous. It was over his head. He was trying to save him from running for the touchdown. So Bedford moving the sticks here, which they desperately need to do at this juncture of the game. You got to take back the second quarter and own it.
15-yard penalty. Now the ball is spotted correctly. It's at the Astro 35.
Yep.
And a 4-receiver set here, 3 to the strong side left. As May goes back to the gun, Helton to his left. It's a 3-man front for Pinkerton, with Caruso standing on the top edge. Back to the air. May again escapes to his right. Going to tuck and run, looking for the 30. Stopped by Quintilani.
Good tackle there.
That's his 3rd stop already.
But not before he gets 5.
We'll give him 4 officially in the end to bring up a 2nd and 6. Well, again, we spoke with both of these head coaches last night on FNL Gridiron. Those interviews, of course, are still up on our YouTube channel. And Coach O'Reilly talking about the health of his team. It's probably the healthiest it's been since week 1. Quintilani a big part of that. Obviously, Morrison and Isaac missed games as well, but Quintilani,
nice square
as you can see,
there,
already making an impact defensively with 3 tackles unofficially. Nearly 3 minutes gone by, second quarter, 2nd and 6. May, a quick throw, it's knocked down.
Boy, is he checking into this game, Caruso, or what?
That's Anthony using that wingspan to his advantage. Got his left hand on the football to bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, it has that same look that Villa has, you know what I mean? One of those type players, and they can cause havoc.
We're talking about the Londonderry defensive end.
Yep.
Both ironically wear the same jersey number, number 7.
That's correct.
They're both listed, I believe, at 6'5", and maybe even longer when you factor in the wingspan.
Absolutely. Caruso, I mean, the way he catches the ball, Nick, has got to catch the eyes of people taking a look and looking for a great receiver. This kid has got it all together.
So Bedford trying to keep the drive going here on 3rd down and 6. They have to get to the Pinkerton 25 against a 4-man rush. Handoff Helton, and he's tackled from behind, I believe, short of the marker.
I think you're right.
Stopped by Savas in the hole. He pounds his chest. And a 4th down on the way here. And this should be a no-brainer for Coach Matthews.
Yeah, it has to be. 2 yards. Big play in the game right here.
It's a 4-yard pickup for Helton. And officially a 4th down and 2 coming up with the football at the 27-yard line.
Yeah, taking Bennett Matthews off the field.
Matthews only 1 carry so far. And now you can hear the Pinkerton fans, they're chanting defense. They made the 20-minute or so drive from Derry and brought the band with them. They're pounding on the drums.
20 minutes. Boy, that's moving.
Well, that's with me driving.
Okay. You got to, absolutely.
4th and 2, Westcott in motion. Handoff Helton left side, cuts it up, 1st down and then some.
Yeah, what
Stop
a run.
by Savas in the red zone at the Astros 16 after a gain of 15 on the ground.
Yeah, you could argue one of the best guys as far as turning that torso sideways. Watch, he comes, turns the torso sideways. See that? Does not, when he turns his shoulders like that, it gives him the angle he needs to knife. He is just gifted. He's a fun guy to watch run.
Big hole on that left side.
Yeah, good blocking up front.
An 11-yard pickup. I misspoke and said 15. It was a gain of 11. Now a 1st and 10 from the 16. Quick throw and catch. Casamasino pays the price. Morrison runs him down in the flat. Still a positive play for the Bulldogs as they advance down to the 13.
And that's what they want. Keep moving the football. Looks like they got a good 4 there. He's a tough kid. Number 4, Bedford.
So Morrison with the
He
brings
brings the wood.
Casamasino.
He's a tough kid. Casamasino's a fun player to watch.
2nd down and 6 from the 13.
It's a good drive by Bedford. They're taking it in pieces and chunks.
They've had the ball for just about 5 minutes here.
Yep.
Nearly 5 minutes gone by, second quarter. Bedford hoping to get on the board after trailing 21-0. Handoff Matthews, and he's spun down. Not going to get much, maybe a yard there, as the edge protected well by Pinkerton.
That's 13.
It was the
7?
safety, David Souther.
Yeah, Souther, right.
One of the seniors.
Yeah, he played a good game against Bedford last time, Nick, when he was here.
It was actually Osanya who wrapped him up.
Was it Osanya? Okay, I wasn't sure.
Joseph Osanya.
All right.
Very, very respectable young man, according to Coach O'Reilly.
Yep.
Says he's hadn't spoken more than 2 words all season.
But he speaks Coach O'Reilly's football language for sure.
Sure does. 3rd down and 5 from the 11-yard line. Pistol formation, Helton in motion to the near side. May going to throw over the middle, and it's incomplete. Off the fingertips of the intended receiver, Landon Elsmore. The junior was well covered. Now a 4th down on the way for Bedford.
Not only was he covered, well covered, Nick, they're doing a great job. The Pinkerton Astro defense really spying on Helton, Nick. They're doing a great job on any passing pattern where they flare him out. They are square up against him, and Jack May's just not going to do it. Not going to play pool there. And he went down the middle. Ball looked like it was pretty well, thrown well enough to catch it, but it would have been a tough one.
4th and 5 from the 11. May. He's got time, throws off the back foot, incomplete, no flags. Trying to find Matthews to the left side.
Huge play.
Well covered there by Savas. And after a lengthy drive, Bedford does not score.
Yeah.
And Pinkerton going to take over with their 21-0 lead still intact.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to look at the younger Caruso here, number 99. Watch him come through the hole. This guy, it's said by Coach O'Reilly, said one of the toughest football players he's ever played, and he's just up in his face, and he was able to break through. You're going to see a better look at it, I think, here. Watch, Jack goes back. Look at Caruso. Look at that. That's what caused the play right there. Boy, this kid is everywhere. Coach O'Reilly, very high in this guy.
Midway through 2nd quarter, Pinkerton takes back over, leading by 3 touchdowns. Handoff Morrison. Breaks the first tackle. Still dancing with Westcott and still alive. Wow. All the way up to the 20. And tackled near the 1st down marker before it's all said and done. A strong run there by the senior.
Yeah, that young man was in the weight room the day after their last game last year, Nick. This guy has just put himself in phenomenal shape. Just like Brody Helton, these guys just have a special gear, and they just refuse. One thing I liked about what he did there, what Matt did right there, was as he was twisting and turning, which is risky, he's got 2 arms and hands protecting the football first and foremost because he understands the turn, how crucial that would be for Bedford to get a turnover.
On 1st and 10, Morrison. Make that Isaac.
Yeah.
Left side run, not much as the hole snap shut. Eli Nazar, one of the senior defensive back for Bedford.
I think he just barely got a yard, Nick.
No, not much. Isaac, of course, started the scoring for Pinkerton on a broken play. It was a 4th down and 2. Isaac dropped the pitch, shifted direction, and then took off. A 53-yard touchdown put Pinkerton on the board first. After a Bedford 3-and-out, Astros took advantage of a short field and again rolled the dice on 4th down, this time from a yard out. Matt Morrison made it 14-zip. Meanwhile, on 2nd and 8, Isaac around the corner, and I believe he's got the 1st down.
Yeah, watch the block on Spellman on, I can't tell if it's number 1 or number 3 on Bedford. Looks like number 1 on Bedford is blocked out of the play. Watch this, folks. If we get our camera over there, just tremendous outside kick-out block. Sealed him off completely. And once you allow Jamie Isaac to get 3 or 4 strides, Nick, it's just trying to catch a cloud. You just can't do it. You can't get a good hold.
Westcott with his 4th tackle, a team high for Bedford. 5-man front for the Bulldogs. On 1st and 10, Morrison. He's met by Sheff, a yard in the backfield. Yeah. And he's whistled down at the 30-yard line.
Jake Sheff is just tremendous, Nick. I'm watching him off and on here throughout the game. I watched him throughout the year, and I know I talk about him a lot, but he's just an impact player. Bedford's been blessed, Nick, to have great defensive outside linemen. He crashes well, but maintains that outside containment pressure, but still gets the job done of closing down the hole. He's just really big and strong. Both of these teams, Nick, have tremendous training programs, weight training programs, and conditioning. and you can see it on the field. They last 4 quarters. They get stronger throughout the game.
Chef with 3 tackles unofficially in this first half. Morrison on 2nd and 11. Bursts through the line and is spun down shy of the 40 after what looks like an 8-yard pickup that'll set up a 3rd down and about 3.
Yeah, you're going to see. Matt, I'm surprised he didn't cut upfield. Watch. He cuts in first, and then he decides to go out. He had 44 Quintilani with the block. He chose to go outside. I think he probably would have had the 1st down if he chose to cut up. But very rarely do you see him do that. But still, even a mild mistake by Matt, he still gets 8-9 yards. Or 8 yards anyway, 7.
3rd down and 3 coming up.
Boy, that wasn't I thought he got a little further. I thought he was up around the 40.
They spot the ball at the 39-yard line. 3rd down and 3. Morrison escapes and has a 1st down.
What a football
Able
player.
to gallop through the hole on the right
Nothing
side.
there.
Up to the 47 before it's all said and done. Another 8-yard rip for Morrison.
Absolutely right, Nick. Great players get yardage that isn't even there. Watch him. There's nothing there. Bedford did a great job stuffing here. And look at that jump. Hate to see a player leave his feet, but boy, in the semifinals, Matt Morrison will not be denied there. Bedford did a great job on defense plugging the hole, and Matt just found a way to slice his way through aerially.
Clock, meanwhile, continuing to tick. It's been a fast-moving first half.
Yes, it has.
Down to 2.5 minutes. Meanwhile, Coach O'Reilly taking his time on the sideline. He may be planning on a timeout here, as the Astro offense does not look like they're intending to head to the line of scrimmage. Neither team has called a timeout yet in this first half. Got a 1st and 10 coming up, and there's the timeout called by the 48-year head coach, Brian O'Reilly. Our broadcast tonight brought to you by Beals Insurance, locations in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance gets you the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. Also by MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising is the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com. Start raising money for your team today. Also by the New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit nhtomahawks.com and also girls.nhtomahawks.com. And finally by Colonial Printing, family-owned and operated for over 50 years. Start your next project today at colonialprintingnh.com. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. Semifinal weekend here on Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. We're broadcasting in conjunction with the NFHS Network. Tomorrow we will be in Exeter as the number 2 seeded Exeter Bluehawks.
What a weekend.
Play host to Londonderry. Of course, the Lancers are the number 3 seed, and that's a rematch of a Week 9 matchup. We get underway at 12:45 tomorrow. Kickoff is at 1 o'clock Eastern. We're live here tonight at Bulldog Stadium. Pinkerton scored 2 touchdowns on their first 2 possessions, both coming on 4th down. And then a pick 6 by Matt Morrison.
Pretty play.
Extended that first quarter lead to 21-0, which is where we have been since. A reverse, double handoff.
What a play by
Isaac is tripped up just shy of midfield after a gain of 3.
Yeah, what a play by number 1, Dean how do I say that right? Poltrinari. What a terrific play, Dean. Oh, they said Brody Helton. I thought he was tripped up by I'm pretty sure it was number 1, Nick, there.
Yeah, we saw it on the replay.
Yeah.
Poltrinari now with a couple of tackles to his credit.
Yep.
Final 100 seconds. And again, Pinkerton taking their time in the huddle here, grinding down the play clock. Coach O'Reilly does not want to give the Bedford Bulldogs another chance on offense.
Everything here is between the numbers, Nick. No chance of getting out of bounds. Burn clock. Get to the half.
Still with 2 timeouts in the back pocket.
And one of the nice things when you've got a great kicker, and Pinkerton does, I say, Nick, he gets down to the 25-yard line. I think it's a kickable ball tonight. Pretty still. Flag's just hanging there. So
there's the timeout by Pinkerton.
Big time for Bedford to stand on the defense here, Nick. They've got to go into the half with some, obviously it's going to be frustrating 21-0. unless they can come back and score here in the second half, if they can get get an interception or something. But if you look at it right now, if nothing else, they've got to get in this half with a 21-0 score. You don't want to go up, past over 3 scores coming out in a half. The margin of victory in that situation gets very slim. But if there's one team that has proven that they can come from behind, it's the Bedford Bulldogs. But this is a tremendous defense they're facing tonight. At the same, having said that,
it's also their biggest margin.
Yeah.
In which they have trailed by. Of course, they fell behind 14-0 against Alvern in the quarters. Scored the final 24 points of the game. And, of course, they've got a 26-game win streak on the line after going undefeated in the regular season, both this year and back in 2023 as well. Pinkerton, meanwhile, hoping to break through what's been a roadblock for them. They've lost consecutive semifinals, have not been back to the championship round since 2017. And in the hunt for a Division I title for the first time since 2014. Got a 2nd down and 7 from midfield with $1:19 to go. Handoff Quintilani. No, it's a fake. They go to Morrison instead. He goes around the corner, and he's got a first down. Going to grind his way along the sideline inside the 40 down to the 37 before it's all said and done. Another 13-yard gain there for Morrison.
He cuts upfield as good as anybody, Nick. There's absolutely no question why he shouldn't be recognized as he was in the Ukeka finalist, Nick. He is tremendous.
Alexander Bissonette, member of that strong junior class for Bedford, given credit for the tackle.
Very difficult young man to bring down.
Final minute, first half. 1st and 10, Pinkerton, the ball at the 36, and they're going to blow this dead. Well, the snap was taken, the flag thrown along the line of scrimmage. Referee Steve Hall declares a false start. That's penalty number 2 against Pinkerton. The first against the Astro offense.
Yeah, most importantly, Nick, is it pushes them further away from a kick here.
And 20 penalty yards against each team in this first half.
Both of these coaches want, Bedford wants to get to the half as the clock starts running, 40 and ticking. Boy, they're letting a lot of time go off. He's got two timeouts, so.
And again, Bedford will receive the second half kickoff.
I'm wondering if he's going to go to the air at all. I'm not sure he's going to take the risk.
Double handoff. Morrison through the hole. 35, breaks to his left and gets down to the 31.
I don't have to tell you how big that tackle is. I'm sure he's going to take a timeout here. 15 seconds.
He's got 1 left.
Wow.
And there it is.
Yeah, Coach O'Reilly upset. I think he's arguing the case that he called a timeout a lot earlier than that.
Hoping they may add some time to the clock. Right now, 12 seconds, 12.3 to be exact.
Yeah, really surprised that much time ticked off the clock. Could have had it around 21, 22 seconds, Nick, after the play went down. It was pretty close to that anyway.
Well, there he is, Coach O'Reilly. He's also, of course, the Academy's athletic director. He's been the head football coach for 48 years.
Yeah.
And, of course, for a long time, he was also a championship-winning coach in the springtime with the boys lacrosse program.
Yep.
Won 12 state titles there before retiring after the conclusion of the 2019 season. His team leads 21-0. 2 scores on offense, a pick 6, all coming in the first quarter.
Well, expect outside the numbers, Nick. A reception outside the numbers here, and with the hope of getting out of bounds. To me, Nick, to get a solid opportunity to kick, probably want to work your way down to the 20-yard line or so, get inside of 40 yards, 35, 37 yards to have a shot here. No win, so that's a positive here. Bedford really got to bear down here, get great pass coverage, and try to tackle him inbounds with no timeouts for the Astros left.
The lone receiver is Cam Dillon to the top of the screen. McDonald going to throw towards Dillon. There's 2 defenders there, including Matthews, and it's broken up at the goal line.
Yep, that's a big
the offender
breakup.
Turned into the defender there as Dillon may have prevented an interception.
Now, we got 13 seconds. They must have added some more time. Did you see it?
I see it now.
But it was 12.2 and it's 13.6 now, right. So they added some more time in the clock.
So a 3rd down and looks like 5 coming up.
Yeah.
The football again at the 31-yard line.
It's unrealistic that you're going to be able to get set with something in the middle of the field. So
they still have a timeout.
No, he said there was timeouts were out. They just said it on the loudspeaker. They've got 0 listed there right now,
Okay.
Nick. So
That's my mistake. I
I
thought
thought the same thing.
All right, McDonald under center. Bedford looks like they're only going to rush 3 here. He's going to drop back and take the gun snap here. Fake the handoff. The junior in trouble, and he's going to take a sack.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That's Jacob Sheff who gets home.
Good job by Bedford.
And the final seconds are going to run off the clock here.
Really appreciate the call that Coach Donahue made there. Only rushed 3 guys, and, they still got some pressure. And the big thing is to defend the pass so they can't get anywhere near a field goal opportunity. They protected the all 3 quadrants of the field, center, left, right, very, very well. And now they're going in with a 21 deficit, but it stopped Pinkerton from going up even more than that. So what a half by the Astros.
Right, especially that first quarter. They came out guns blazing, scoring 2 touchdowns, both on 4th down on their first 2 possessions. And then Jack May was picked off by Matt Morrison, who returned it 32 yards to the house. 21-0 Pinkerton. Astros hoping to advance to the Division I championship for the first time in 7 years. Bedford, the 2-time defending champs, going to have to climb out of a deep hole in the second half. Coming up, live entertainment down on the field. I believe both bands are set to perform. The Bedford marching band on the field right now. Steve and I with a lot to talk about as well as we break down that first half with stats, highlights, analysis, plus a preview of tomorrow's other Division I semifinal between Exeter and Londonderry. That's all on the way. Halftime here at Bulldog Stadium. Pinkerton 21, Bedford nothing. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include discount tickets, cards, and calendar raffles to hundreds of local merchants throughout the New England area. Don't waste another season. Raise more funds than ever before and become another football program in New Hampshire that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today. Colonial Printing is family owned and celebrating 50 years of quality print services for New Hampshire businesses and can help yours as well. Whether it's creative design, digital or offset printing, or banners and signs, with state-of-the-art technology, unlimited industry sources, and the ability to think outside the box, Colonial Printing will help you get your job done. To see their full list of services, promo products, and portfolio, or to request an estimate, visit colonialprintingnh.com. That's colonialprintingnh.com.
When are we going back live? Oh, I'm sorry.
registration for the compliance, health, and safety of our athletes. It is an official word of NHIAA. See finalforms.com.
Halftime here in Bedford. First of two Division I semifinals here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire this weekend. Pinkerton dominating that first quarter, leading the two-time defending champion Bedford Bulldogs 21-0 at the midway point. A rematch, of course, of week number 6 in a game that came down to the wire. Pinkerton, they got the ball first, and they made the most of it. On fourth down from near midfield, Jamie Isaac, on what appeared to be a broken play, took it 53 yards to the house. Extra point good, 7-0. Bedford went 3 and out. That set up another short field for Pinkerton. And again, they took advantage on fourth down. 4th and 1, they go to their star, Matt Morrison, who plunged into the end zone, 14-0 at that point. And then just 2 plays later, it was Morrison who intercepted a Jack May pass and brought it back to the end zone from 32 yards out to make it 21-0. Bedford showed some signs in that second quarter, put together a nearly 6-minute drive, but in the end stalled out as they approached the red zone, came away empty. Pinkerton ran down the clock and took the 3-touchdown lead with them into the locker room. So Bedford with work to do. Their 26-game win streak on the line. They trail by their biggest deficit of the season.
But they get the ball, Nick, coming to them, as you said, in the second half, and they've got to do something with it. I think, my reflections on the first half are Bedford came out somewhat tentative, very consistent with what Coach Matthews was telling us before. And, if you're a great team, and they are, you might be able to get away with that. But when you're facing Pinkerton, they came out, on the other hand, like a Wolverine, and that was cornered. They just came out firing. I was looking at some of the chat room of some of our viewers, and they were saying things like it just came out firing on all cylinders. I mean, a lot of adjectives describe the almost the reckless, or not reckless, the very controlled intensity in which they came out. Discipline by Pinkerton was extremely high defensively as well. There were times when they're trying to get Brody Helton open. Jack May is frustrated for the first time, Nick, all year of the games that I've seen, that Jack is frustrated, and with good reason, because the defensive backfield with Isaac and Morrison back in it, and then you throw Spellman in, Osanya. I mean, this is an all-star lineup here when you look at this team. Caruso younger. I mean, this is unbelievable. And we could even go on even more. And then even the guys that are maybe the 9th, 10th, 11th are participating as well. I don't know, they must have had a terrific week of practice. Coach O'Reilly looked very calm last night, but yet excited at the same time, but controlled. His team is playing the same way tonight. Coach Matthews is a great coach, great defensive, but right now, for Bedford, they've got to put something together and get on the board. I would argue at this juncture, 3 won't get it done, Nick. They got to get a touchdown.
Some unofficial numbers from that first half. Matt Morrison for Pinkerton, 9 carries, 57 yards, and 1 touchdown.
Boy, that must be harder, and I thought it was more than that.
Jamie Isaac, 7 carries for 64. Of course, the majority came on that 53-yard touchdown.
But balance,
Ben Quintilani, 2 carries for 11 yards. Aiden McDonald, a couple of completions. They both were to Anthony Caruso, 2 catches for 30 yards. Bedford struggled at times to get Brody Helton going. The junior ends up with only 22 yards on 5 carries.
They've done an amazing job containing him.
And Bennett Matthews, 2 touches in that first half for a combined 0 yards. So Pinkerton's defense has really focused in on taking away production from the Bedford Stars.
Yeah, and the people that Coach O'Reilly was talking about on Gridiron last night are all involved with that defense. I thought the Bedford offensive line and defensive line especially had some really high moments, but when you're dealing with the firepower of the triple connection there of Quintilani and Morrison and Jamie, it's really that's very difficult to stop. Then you throw in there, just don't lose sight of how good a quarterback, a comprehensive quarterback that McDonald is, Nick. I've been watching him throughout the years. He's a prize to get if you're looking for a quarterback at the college level, Nick. I think he has a lot of attributes that are very special. But Caruso's catches, Nick, at critical times, and Morris's interception, and then of course, Jamie's run there with that ball just bounced right up to him. Hey, look, a lot of people would have tried to pounce on the thing or whatever. He grabbed it, and he just had a sixth sense of knowing that far side was open. He saw the edge out of there. The vision this young man has is tremendous. And, boy, when you watch him turn on the jets, you can tell, Nick, as you said earlier, he's a track star.
Defensively, Pinkerton got 4 tackles out of Benjamin Quintilani, one of the linebacker spots. And Bedford with 4 stops each out of defensive lineman Jacob Sheff and defensive back Dustin Westcott. Bedford, they won the opening coin toss. They deferred to the second half, so the Bulldogs will get the football. Pinkerton set to kick. And we'll keep an eye on the sky as well. So far, pretty much so good. We expected heavy rains, a little bit of wind tonight. Both of those have been held at a minimum, thankfully. And again, more of the same expected throughout the second half.
Absolutely.
Pinkerton.
But they do say it's coming, though, Nick.
Yeah.
They keep saying that. And we're very thankful that we've been able to have the kind of weather we've had so far.
We'll keep an eye on the sky for sure.
Very interested to see what's really interested, Nick. What Coach O'Reilly's going to do with this kick. Is he going to just pooch it down and force them to run, or is he going to let Brody Helton receive the ball? Just really fascinated here what he's going to do. Here we go. Yeah.
Kick is a liner. Goes to the left. This is Matthews. Cautiously approaches the 15. Makes his way to the 20.
Good
It was
return.
written down by Spellman at about the 25, maybe the 26.
Actually was 33 returning the ball there.
Well, my mistake. You're right.
Yeah.
That's
that
Bryson Durso, the sophomore. Well, we saw Bennett Matthews at halftime attending to what looked like a bloody nose.
He's got his helmet off right
on
now.
the sideline. That's usually the spot he's back on the return team, but
Right.
it's Durso again who's going to jog into the huddle here and replace Casamassino with Matthews still on the sideline. So Bedford's star junior receiver right now, his status is up in the air. Bulldogs need points. They trail 21-0 as we start this third quarter. Football at the Bulldog 27. May out of the gun, handoff to Helton, straight ahead. He's met in the hole by Quintilani, and he lowers the shoulder up to the 30 after only a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, Quintilani's getting a shot at that tackle because the defensive line is holding ground right there. You can see him shaking his head over there. Keep it up, boys. Look at this. They're holding off double teams. Number 72 there, Nick. Let me get it right. Call this guy out. John Hanlon. What a terrific job holding the line on a double team, Nick, and that's what opens up green space and open vision for Quintilani to meet him at the line.
Hanlon's been an anchor up front for Pinkerton really all season. He's one of 3 down linemen here for Pinkerton. On 2nd and 8, Bedford hands to Casamassino, right side, a little bit of room. Spun down by Osanya after crossing the 35 up to the 37.
I think it's
about a yard short,
close.
maybe?
No, I think they're going to move the sticks. No?
Third one.
Little overzealous there on the far side of the field with the sticks.
Yeah, it looked like the chain gang wanted to move.
They wanted to move it, but
the official
not
said
so fast.
Not so fast. 3rd and inches, it looks like.
Yeah,
with
pretty
the football
close,
at the
though.
37.
Well,
that's the second touch for Casamassino. He had a 3-yard catch to his credit in that first half as well.
all right. Bedford needs to continue to move the ball down the field. They got to get on the board here. Take the time you need to get it done.
Pinkerton showing blitz on 3rd and 1. Handoff Helton, and he's got a first down and then some. Going to bowl his way up to the 45-yard line for a gain of 8. That's his longest run of the game so far.
Yeah, opened
Tackled
up
by Morrison out of the secondary.
Open a nice hole. We're going to see who made these blocks here for him to get through. But, boy, they're closing it up. Brody is so used to having a little room there to laterally move. But as he comes through, yeah, Osama, boy, could have very easily been a hold there called on number 55. Fortunately for Bedford, that didn't happen.
May out of the gun on 1st and 10. He's got time. He's going to scramble to his right, pump fake, and now tuck and run along the sideline. Crosses midfield before he steps out of bounds. Well, a good scramble there. On his 3rd official carry of the game, he's run out of bounds at the Pinkerton 49.
Yeah, Jack did a great fake. Now watch him when he rolls to the right. This kid does it all. Watch him. He fakes it and forces him to jump 53 to jump in the air, and that opened up that run. What a terrific job helping his team get down the field.
5-yard pickup sets up 2nd and 5. Just over 2 minutes gone by, 3rd quarter. Bulldogs trailing 21-0. Defending champs trying to get points. Westcott in motion. Pitch left side, it's Helton. Takes a block, cuts it up the middle, lowers the shoulder, and is upended after crossing the 45. He's down to the 43, and that's another Bulldog first down. Gain of 6 there for Helton on his 3rd carry of the drive. Morrison again given credit for the stop. So this is what Coach Matthews was hoping for, right?
Absolutely.
A sustained drive here to begin the 3rd quarter.
Yep, and keep that offense off the field and, hopefully get cold there on the sidelines. But, this is the way he wanted to move the ball. He wants to move it down the field. You got to score here. That's first possession.
Casamasino, outside carry, cuts it up inside the 40
he's
before
doing
he's
a great
dragged
job.
down by Souther.
He's
They're
doing a
gonna
great
mark him
job.
at the 36. That's a good gain of 7. Set up a 2nd and 3.
Yeah, next man up here, Casamasino delivering. He had some good up front blocks. Really like the way that the blocking scheme that they had that the offense had there, Nick. They loaded it, and they did a great job pinning the linebackers and the left tackle in.
Rain starting to pick up just a bit.
They said it was going to happen.
3.5 gone by, third quarter. Perhaps this is the hardest the rain has been tonight. 2nd down and 3. May takes an awkward snap, hands off Helton, sidesteps, makes a man miss, and he's close to the first down marker at the 34.
Yeah, the secret what's going on right now with so many of the Pinkerton Astro defensive players, Nick, is they're getting off blocks. They're doing a great job. Normally, Helton's these guys are able to hold those blocks so Helton can do his thing. They're getting yardage, but they're closing it down before it gets deep in the secondary. That does two things: makes down and distance situations, not as easy, and most importantly, tick, tick, tick off the clock.
4 minutes off this third quarter clock so far.
Yep.
3rd down and 1. Bedford's going to load up the backfield. May under centering. It's a 5-man front. There's movement and flags. Now James Caruso for Pinkerton ran into the right tackle, and that's encroachment against the Astros.
Yeah, in that particular situation, you don't want to give him the first down, Nick. You want to make him run a 30-second play every single time. That was just what you don't want to do. He's a smart football player, but you really want to force them to make a running play for it. Now the clock stops. Now it goes.
1st and 10, Bedford. At the Pinkerton 28-yard line, same power formation. Right side run, not much for Helton. Stop just shy of the 25.
Is that Spellman or was that?
I think that's Souther again.
That's Souther, yeah, Souther.
Out of the secondary. He's starting to rack up some tackles.
He's racking up some tackles and some good defensive closes. He's been assisting Nick in tackles as well.
I've got him for 4 on this drive alone.
Yeah, and he assisted for 3 or 4 others. He's been everywhere tonight.
3-yard gain for Helton. And a 2nd down and 7 coming for Bedford. Nearly 5 minutes gone by, third quarter. Bulldogs have held the ball since halftime. Desperately searching for points here, still trailing 21-0. That was our score after the first quarter. A little misdirection. Casamasino slips, spins. He's inside the 20 and down to the 16 before he's buried by Osanya.
That's just great deflection. Great job by Jack May selling that whole play. And he had assistance from his running backs. Nobody really knew where it was going. And thankfully, if you're Pinkerton Astros, they had the contain route there to stop it from going all the way to the house. Quintilani put a good effort in, but Casamino just very, elusive, Nick. Tough guy to bring down.
He's got 24 yards on this drive.
Yeah.
On just 3 carries. 1st and 10 from the 16. Right side, a lot of room. Helton, a big collision at the 10. And his forward momentum brings him down to the 9. That's a 6-yard gain for Helton as we hit the midway point of this third quarter.
Yeah, Coach O'Reilly wants to extend this. If they're going to get in the end zone, he wants to be inside of 5 minutes, Nick, into the high 4s. And what that would do is meant that Bedford took a long time to burn in the third quarter. He knows how to play the clock as anybody in the league.
We saw Bedford take nearly the same amount of time off the second quarter clock, but come away empty.
Well, you've got
this time they're hoping for points.
Exactly, Nick, but you got 2nd down. He wants to make this thing last 3 or 4, 5 more plays if they even get it in the end zone to burn it down.
2nd and 3 from the 9-yard line. Pistol formation, Westcott in motion, handoff right side, Casamasino, jump cut, and is tackled by Aaron Parker in the hole as he spun down to about the 7. So we should have a 3rd and short coming up. Looks like 3rd and 2.5. Meanwhile, the officials are going to blow the whistle as there's a player down for Pinkerton.
Oh, boy. Who is that? 13.
I think it's Souther.
Yeah, I think it is.
It's Souther, one of the safeties. We had just talked about how he's made a difference defensively on this drive. The youngster is still down.
Yep.
As the training staff
Yep.
is going to keep an eye on him. He bounces up. And hopefully
we'll see if we can see it. Okay. Number 13. I didn't really see him in there trying to find him. Quintilani in initially.
And then it's Parker who made the tackle, and you can see Souther.
Yeah, there he's down underneath it all. Yeah. So
he's walking off the field under his own power.
I mean, no disrespect whatsoever to Souther. He's a tough kid. But obviously they want that clock to continue if they can. But there was no way he was coming off. He looked Nick, like he kind of had the whole pile. Boy, as the rain really starts now.
The wind as well.
That whole pile kind of fell down on him. So hopefully he's okay.
Well, this is the weather we were hoping to avoid.
Yep.
As we approach 5 minutes to go, third quarter. Bedford knocking on the door. 3rd and 1 from the 6. Helton right side run into the end zone for a touchdown.
That's what Bedford wanted right there. Would have preferred it a little quicker, Nick. It's still 5:04, but that still gets them on the board and closing it within, if they can get the extra point, within 2 scores. Technically within 2 scores now, but this extra point is big.
So Helton, a 6-yard touchdown run. He was the workhorse on that drive.
Don't go away.
And he scores on a 3rd and 1, so it's 21-6. Extra point coming in the rain. It's up and good. Off the right foot of Zach Petrie. So 21-7. The champs still alive with 5 minutes and change remaining in this third quarter.
Well, that's you've got, Nick, if you come up empty on that drive, I want to say you don't lock it in, but boy, the percentages, the uphill battle goes really, really high here. So
Bedford needed it.
they
Pinkerton,
needed it, and they got it.
They scored 21 points in the opening quarter. 2 touchdowns, both coming on 4th down on their first 2 possessions. Jamie Isaac a long 53-yard run.
Yep.
And then Matt Morrison a short 1-yard plunge. And then on the ensuing Bedford drive, Morrison with a pick 6, a 32-yard touchdown off the interception from Jack May. 21-0 Pinkerton after 1. The two were pretty even in that second quarter, each holding the ball for about 6 minutes. No change in score, 21-zip. Still the mark at halftime. Bedford, they just ate up nearly 7 minutes on that drive, which went 74 yards, capped off by Brody Helton's 6-yard touchdown plunge.
Well, this is Bedford's strongest half all year long, the second half, Nick. Like I said, it was basically a 7-minute drive, but they scored, and that's the key. They're inside it. They're within 2 scores here, Nick. What do the Pinkerton Astros have to do? They've got to control the football offensively and move the sticks and get into the fourth quarter, with a 2-score lead. That's their goal here, whether they score or not.
Petrie, squib. He's going to roll inside the 25. Gathered eventually by Isaac.
Oh, he's got the corner.
He's got some room on the right. 1 man to beat. Tripped up at midfield. Still has his balance. And he's going to grab a few more yards at the end of the run into Bedford territory, where they mark him down at the 39-yard line.
Boy, he has a way of, whether it's a drop ball or a tip ball or what have you.
They actually rule him out, Steve, at the 48. Either way, a good return.
A great return. 48 of Bedford, though, Nick, on the other side of the field. And what does that mean, folks? That means that Coach O'Reilly can open up his playbook. Doesn't mean he does something risky, but he's not sitting there with 3 center runs hoping to move a stick. He can go to the outside. He can go to off tackle. He can go up the middle, do a short pass route. So Bedford's defense has got to stand big and tall right now. Their offense got it done. They got to put it both sides together.
1st and 10, handoff Morrison, a right side run, and a little extra after contact is going to give him 2.
Yep.
As he's down to the Bulldog 47.
But good stop by the Bulldogs.
Morrison busy in that first half, 9 carries unofficially for 57 yards. He's going to grab 2 there to set up a 2nd down and 8. Meanwhile, Jacob Sheff continuing to check in for Bedford now with a team-high 5 tackles.
You are going to see the artwork that Coach O'Reilly does with this single-wing offense, Nick, with trying to run the clock right down to a couple seconds left on each play. You got to time him. He'll be talking to the refs.
Handoff, Morrison. Sheff again.
Wow.
Blasting it. Had help there from
That was
Alex
a wall.
Bissonette and a few other black jerseys in the area as well. No gain for Morrison. 3rd down and 8 coming up.
If you ever heard the phrase "nothing there" being used, that's the time to use it on this one, because that was just a brick wall. And yes, Jake Sheff playing himself a game. We talked about him last night.
I've got him for 6 stops already. That includes a sack at the tail end of the second quarter.
He's a beast as the rain and the wind beginning to stiffen up. It's going to be very interesting to see down and distance situation after this 3rd down. If they don't get the first down, what Coach O'Reilly does here.
3rd down and 8. First down marker is at the Bulldog 38. Hand off Morrison, trying to get around the corner to the near side. Westcott meets him and drags him down.
This defense has come up big.
That's Westcott's 5th tackle of the game as well. And it's a big one there as it brings up a 4th and long that's got Coach Matthews fired up along the home sideline.
Yeah, his speed to the ball, the Bedford defense speed to the ball is much more intense, Nick, and it looks like they're going to try to punt it and pin him deep. That's exactly what he's going to do. Too much to risk for Coach O'Reilly not to put it down in the corner. Remember, this is not a kickoff, so they can angle kick, put it out of bounds if they get a good kick. With a defense, he's going to trust that defense and hope it takes another 7 minutes to get down. But the complexion of this game is changing to Bedford's advantage, little by little here.
It's what the doctor ordered. They went down, they scored the touchdown, they forced a 3 and out, and now are set to get the ball back with Helton standing at his own 9-yard line. Here's
what
the punt.
Kick.
It's a great one from H.A. Scholes, the junior. It's going to angle along the sideline.
Wow.
Hunted down by Spellman at the
1
yard line.
Wow, that's exactly what I predicted would happen. They would try.
Got the good snap, got the good kick, and got the good cover from Spellman. It all adds up to a great punt, and Bedford is pinned at their own 1 yard line.
You know, we talk about Spellman, Nick. We talked about him last night. This kid checks into games, and he isn't just a good little runner. He's not the next guy up runner that did a great job last time against Bedford, but he checks into games with smart football, with a great deal of aggression behind it, and he just gets things done.
Heck of a punt, too.
Heck of a punt.
That's H.A. Scholes. He made his way up in the offseason from Massachusetts.
Yeah.
It's been a big
had talked to his
addition.
dad. Nice man.
And obviously showing you what he can do there with the leg.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so here's Bedford. From their own 1 yard line, powerhouse formation here. They go to the big fullback. Can't quite see the number. A rugby scrum breaks out.
Looks
and
like he got
eventually
3
he's
or
up
4.
to about the 7 yard line, maybe 6 there.
Good push by the Bedford offensive line when they need it the most. Remember now, we're still in the 3rd quarter. There's plenty of time here to play.
It's actually Connor Flaherty. He's listed as a D tackle. He's been a big contributor up front defensively for Bedford. Gets his first carry there to give his team some breathing room on offense.
Yep.
A 6 yard gain, 2nd down and 4. Inside the final 2 minutes, 3rd quarter. Bedford still trailing by multiple scores here, 21-7, but got a renewed sense of purpose perhaps. They're back in the game. Hand off, Helton changes direction, trying to shift his way across the 10.
It'll always be a game of blocking and tackling. Looks like a first down, Nick.
Yes. Spun down there by Isaac, but does have enough for the first down. Officially a 5 yard carry for Helton. Well, Helton held in check in that first half, just 22 yards on 5 carries. Had 35 yards on the previous drive alone.
Was that Caruso that made that tackle? I'm not sure.
I couldn't see the number.
Yeah, it was great open field tackle there. There wasn't a lot left there if he was able to break that, if Brody was able to break that tackle.
Final minute, 3rd quarter. Pitch, Helton right side, looks for the edge, gets it. He's up to the 15 and out of bounds at about the 16, maybe the 18.
And that'll stop the clock. See, this is the kind of thing that Bedford needs to do, Nick. They've got to keep this third quarter running as long as they possibly can as they work the ball down the field. When you're 2 scores down, that's a lot different than 3.
Yeah.
The energy in the crowd, the student section's into the game right now. Coach Matthews is jumping up and down, excited, trying to fire up his team. He's fired up. That's the kind of momentum you need to dig out of a deep hole. But this defense, Nick, is just doing a great job tackling and making these drives take a long time. But eventually, Pinkerton has got to get the ball back, and they've got to move the sticks and take some time off themselves. So this is about a clock right here, right now.
2nd down and 4. Helton back in the pistol. Westcott is in motion. Helton going to roll to his left. Eyes downfield. Lets it fly. Looking for Casamassino, but incomplete.
Can't get there.
A couple of defenders in the area. That one falls incomplete at midfield, and now a 3rd down and 4 on the way for Bedford after they look for a deep shot there on 2nd and short.
Yep, I get it. But you're deep in your zone. When you're running, to me, Nick, when you're running the ball and you're running it effectively, they're getting big chunks, to get first down. I know it gets antsy. You want to get more yardage quicker.
Well, now they need 4 yards.
Right.
With the first down marker somewhere between the 22 and the 23-yard line.
Yeah.
Pinkerton hoping to stiffen up here. 46 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. Astros still leading 21-7.
Brody Helton seems to be getting momentum. You don't want to thwart that when he's playing. He's in the zone right now. What's going on?
Coach Matthews upset about something. He may have just used a timeout. He did. Bedford going to spend their first timeout, an apparent communication issue on the sideline. Our broadcast tonight is brought to you by Beals Insurance. Locations in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. Also by MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising is the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit MGSportsFundraising.com. Start raising money for your team today. By the New Hampshire Tomahawks. Showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NHTomahawks.com and also girls.NHTomahawks.com. And finally by Colonial Printing. Family owned and operated for over 50 years. Start your next project today at colonialprintingnh.com. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance. We're broadcasting in conjunction with the NFHS Network both today and tomorrow. Of course, tomorrow afternoon we're in Exeter as the Blue Hawks play host to Londonderry in the other Division I semifinal. Winner here tonight gets back to the championship.
Big play here.
Bedford on a 3rd down and 4, hoping to keep the drive alive. Pinkerton with a 4-man front, hoping for a stop. Helton is in motion. May takes the snap. He's got time. He's going to tuck. He's going to go up the middle, and he's going to be hit near the first down stick.
He's got it. I think he's got it, Nick.
Tackled by Osanya, and it is a Bedford first down.
It's a Bedford first down, and we're still in the 3rd quarter, which they've really lengthened this out. They've got a lot of offensive plays they've been able to do. They're still fairly deep in their own territory, Nick, but we haven't got to the 4th quarter yet. But they got to put something together. That's a heck of a hit right there.
Clock running again. We're inside of 30 seconds.
Jack had a little mustard on that hot dog there as he was running.
1st and 10. Winds picking up here in Bedford.
Weather's depreciating quickly.
Out of the gun, May against the 4-man rush. Runs to his right, looking downfield. Now will tuck and escape towards the sideline. Takes a shot from Anthony Caruso, and the flags are going to fly. A late hit on the way against Pinkerton.
Those never go well, Nick. Not only do you motivate the other team's sideline, you got a 15-yard freebie down there and stopping the clock, and then just starting to motivate, the offensive unit when you do that. That was not. That was an unfortunate penalty if you're a Pinkerton Astro.
You see the look on Coach O'Reilly's face there.
Yeah.
As we get another look at the hit, May clearly heading out of bounds.
Yeah, there's no need of that whatsoever. That was way out of bounds right there. Flags flying everywhere.
That's the first personal foul against either team.
Yeah, that's just going to give the kind of field position that Coach Matthews is looking for to open up his offense.
So, with the personal foul, the officials will respot the football at the Bedford 45, just inside of 7 seconds to go in this 3rd quarter. Crowd is amped up as well after the penalty. Pinkerton showing blitz on 1st and 10. Helton has all right side, good jump cut, and now has open space. Turns on the gas, up the middle, trying to outrun Dillon, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown. Wow. A 55-yard touchdown run by Brody Helton, and mayhem erupts on the Bedford sideline as they celebrate.
Well,
21-13 as the Bulldogs are alive and well.
With Bedford in the second half, Nick. And this has got this fan base wild right now.
A 55-yard touchdown run as we get another look.
This man is special.
Meanwhile, Petrie coming on for the extra point, try to make it a 7-point game.
And remember, that's off a 15-yard personal foul, Nick.
High snap, but a good hold, and it's blocked by Isaac.
Wow!
As he jackknifes into the backfield, got two hands on that
that's
ball
the
for
last
the
guy
block.
You want to let free come into the ball, Nick. And
so
boy, could that have a factor in this game.
It stays an 8-point game, 21-13, and that brings us to the end of the third quarter. So buckle up. It's going to get wet and wild in the fourth quarter. A one-score game again, 21-13. Does Bedford go back to the championship for a third straight year, or does Pinkerton hang on and punch their ticket for the first time since 2017? We find out next. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Bedford on the heels of two straight touchdowns. They're back in the game, 21-13. Pinkerton still with the lead as we get set for the final 12 minutes of regulation. Fourth quarter action here in this Division I semifinal. Bedford's kick handled off the bounce by the sophomore Spellman, who breaks to his left, but he's not going to get much more than the 30-yard line.
All Bedford right now, Nick.
They've got the momentum. Pinkerton builds up a 3-score lead in the first quarter. Touchdowns on their first two drives, a pick six by Matt Morrison. It was 21-zip as we headed to the second quarter. Same score at halftime, but Bedford, they put together two lengthy drives in that third quarter. The extra point try was blocked, but nonetheless, two Brody Hutton touchdowns later, and it's a one-score game yet again. So now Pinkerton only ran 3 plays on offense in that third quarter. If you're trying to get something going here with the football.
If you're Pinkerton, Nick, your biggest frustration is how much time still left on the clock, because
there's plenty of time now. Morrison pulls out. It's loose near side, and Pinkerton is going to fortunately jump right back on it. James Caruso is Johnny on the spot there to save the possession.
Expect more of this, Nick, because that ball is going to be cold, wet, and slick. And that was a heck of a hit that dropped that drew that fumble, Nick.
Officially a 6-yard run for Morrison. Well, we had talked about the weather in the pregame. It kind of held off throughout the first half.
It's
light
coming
rain,
now,
but really intensified in that third quarter, and it's really pouring in sheets right now.
Absolutely.
And as you mentioned, the officials trying to keep fresh footballs in rotation, trying to keep them dry, but that may be an X factor here over the final period. 3 running backs behind McDonald, and look out, Morrison is wrapped up by Sheff, who continues to play outstanding defense.
Unreal. What a shutdown. What a shutdown lineman, Nick. He is.
I've got him for 7 tackles, including a sack, 4 of those for a loss, including that one right there. Fortunately, they mark Morrison with forward progress at the 37, so they only lose a yard there. And it's
I'm a little
3rd and 5.
surprised, Nick, that Pinkerton isn't trying to pin the defensive ends in more, because that was working for him earlier so they could hit that off-tackle angle. They're right now, Bedford's just the defenders are on fire, very similar to the way Pinkerton was in the first half.
Bulldogs a chance to force another 3 and out perhaps. Handoff Morrison on 3rd and 5, and he's dragged down by Sheff again. lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. They do mark him up to the 39, so he gets 2 yards there, and that sets up a 4th down and 2.
Yep.
Decision time for the longtime head coach, Brian O'Reilly.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically putting it right on the line right now, Nick, if he's going for this. Question is what to do, and they're going to punt the ball. Or is he just letting time go off the clock? He called McDonald over.
And he's having a word with the junior quarterback right now on the sidelines.
Yep. He apparently thinks he has the time.
He may be thinking timeout here.
He may. He's going to wind it down, I think, and think about it. Put together a play. I would say, Nick, to a great degree, this is a hinge pin in the point in the game, in the sense that you've got the clock going. That's exactly what he did. He wants to extend this, think about it, but burn every second he can. Good thinking there. If this 1st down is stopped and Bedford takes over, you got to think of that risk into the equation. But you've also got to think about giving the ball back to Bedford.
Right.
I honestly don't know what the right answer is here, and it's just up to the coach.
Well,
sometimes you just got to put things on the line.
Right. 4th down and 2. We have a timeout. Each team now with 2 timeouts remaining. Reminder, tomorrow we are in Londonderry. No, we're in Exeter as Londonderry visits Exeter. In the 2-3 matchup in the other Division I semifinals, undefeated Exeter against perennial contender Londonderry. We're on the air at 12:45. The kickoff comes your way at 1 o'clock Eastern. Of course, in this game, Bedford, the 2-time defending D1 champions, in a 21-0 hole at halftime.
Yep.
A 26-game win streak on the line, hoping to get back to the championship round for a 3rd straight year. Pinkerton, it's been a little while, at least by their standards.
Yep.
Last in the championship back in 2017 in a loss against Winnicott. They last won the title over Bedford 10 years ago back in 2014.
They're going for it. I don't think there's a wrong answer here, but boy, you're kind of in a situation you got to put the whole deal. Well, this is huge.
Pinkerton 3 for 3 on 4th down. All those came in the first quarter. Morrison gets the call, and that is going to be close.
I think he's got it.
He's across the 40, needed to get to the 41. The officials say move the chains.
He got it.
So
Matt Morrison, people.
He needed 2 yards. He got about 2.5 there.
He got 2.5, and he earned that last yard on his own. Watch. He gets met right there in that powerful leg drive. Don't tell me, football players, it's not worth going to every day in the gym and working out since January, because that's what happens when the big show hits. You've got to have that strength to win the battle, and that's exactly what he did right there. This game is far from over still, but that's a big hurdle. You gotta give Coach O'Reilly credit for rolling the dice there, and he gave it to his key guy.
His team now 4 for 4 on 3rd down. Meanwhile, the rain somehow continuing to pick up. 1st and 10. Morrison is...
This Bedford D is solid.
Yep. Going to be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Met by a number of Bulldogs on the edge on that pitch play.
Yeah, Bulldogs are fired up, Nick, on defense.
The officials are going to say no gain, 2nd and 10.
Well, I think it's a loss.
Well, they lose 1.
Nope.
No gain.
No gain.
Right the first time.
Yeah,
2nd
you were right.
and 10.
Well, he was standing back there about a yard back. Looked like he was going to drop the ball right there. But they're going to give him forward progress back to the original line of scrimmage.
It was Peter Suazo leading the defensive attack. One of, I think, 32 seniors on this Bedford roster.
Yes, absolutely.
It's about as big of a class size as you're going to find at the varsity level.
Well, everybody expected this game was going to be a barn burner, and boy, it was 21-0, go up quick. Bedford's made this thing a football game and more.
4 minutes and change gone by, and Coach O'Reilly is going to use his 2nd timeout here.
Wow.
Something not quite right with the long-time ball coach, and he's got 1 timeout remaining.
Yep.
So that'll stop the clock. 7:40 to go in regulation, and it is pouring here in Bedford.
Yeah, it sure is, coming down at Cheats. Kristen, we got to...
As you can see here, we're trying to protect our equipment up here under the tarp on the roof. See if we can scoot the camera back a few inches.
Yeah, that's good. It is downpouring here.
And again, it held off in the first half. Almost seemed too good to be true.
Yeah, it really was, but it's making up for it now, that's for sure.
It sure is. So, Pinkerton really taking their time in that huddle. Coach O'Reilly trying to drive home the message. His club led 21-0 after the first quarter, 21-0 at halftime. Bedford, they got 2 Brody Helton touchdowns in that third quarter, and they're back within a score. But the defense needs to somehow get the offense the ball back if you're Bedford. Meanwhile, Pinkerton's done a nice job here on this drive, Steve, of eating clock.
No question.
Already 4 minutes and 20 seconds
No
taken
question.
off the
But
clock.
the Bedford defense is being real stingy, Nick. We'll see what happens here.
2nd and 10, Morrison up the middle to midfield. Another strong finish to the run, dragged down by Westcott at the 50-yard line. That's an 8-yard gain as Morrison approaching the 100-yard mark on the night. It's 3rd down and 2 on the way.
It's amazing. These electronics are still working, folks. Wow.
Yeah, it is getting wet for sure.
You kind of get the feeling, Nick, it's going to intensify as time goes on.
I don't know if that's possible anymore.
Yeah,
It's really coming down.
And it's cold.
3rd down and 2. Morrison again through the hole,
Whoa!
and look out. He's going to turn on the
What a
Jets,
bull.
and he will not be caught. It's a 50-yard touchdown run, his 3rd score of the game. Pinkerton makes it a 2-score affair again at 27-13.
And the wind is going insane here. All right, I'm going to have to just put my bag up over to protect this. Sorry, folks.
Big run on 3rd down and 2. Morrison, 2 touchdowns on offense, a pick 6 on defense, but perhaps none play bigger than that one.
What a player.
It gives Pinkerton
Just bowled it.
the cushion they were hoping for. Now a low snap. Extra point try. Running to his right is the holder for Pinkerton. That's Cam Joy, and he's going to run out of space inside the 5-yard line. So the extra point fails. And it's a 14-point gap again, 27-13 as we near the midway point of this 4th quarter.
So I think Matt Morrison has proven how important he is to this football team. He ran into a wall in the secondary, Nick, with 2 guys, and he just lowered his shoulder and drove separation and was able to get, and then it was all downtown from there. Now it's Bedford's turn to see if they can answer back, folks. I hope you're enjoying this game, because I certainly am. This is fantastic. Both of these teams deserve so much to be here. The heart that they're playing with, they're giving everything that they have on both sides of the ball here.
We expected max effort. Both of these teams you can chalk up as top 4 teams year in and year out, really.
Jake Sheff having what a night this young man's having. What a night, There were so many guys that contributed tonight on both sides of the football field.
The stars are out for sure. A chance to head to the big dance, the championship affair, which comes your way a week from tomorrow.
I'm actually very surprised that they didn't go for 2 there, Nick, just given because of the conditions. So hard to convert a field goal when it's just downpouring like that. An extra point, I should say. Well, tackling's not going to be easy. Everything's going to be slippery. So this is an opportunity for Bedford to get great field position.
It's Helton and Durso back deep for Bedford. Pappas's kick is a good one. Durso comes up to the 11 to make the catch across the 15-20. Little room at the 25.
Oh, what a hit.
Spun down at the 27-yard line.
Great job holding on to the football by that young man.
Again on the tackle.
Yeah, Spellman's everywhere. What a special teams player. But you can put him anywhere on all 3 phases, and he's going to get his licks in, and he's going to check in and be a factor. And it's all the stuff that you don't necessarily see on the data sheets afterwards, Nick.
All right, Steve, what do you do here if you're Bedford? You open up the, quote-unquote, open up the playbook. You're kind of restricted with the rain, but
I think you ride Brody
2 scores.
Helton. I think you ride Brody Helton. You need 2 scores.
Helton has been the man tonight, particularly in the second half. He's got a big hole here on 1st down. He's across the 35 and close to the 1st down stick, tackled by Savas out of the secondary. They're going to mark him at the 37. That is about a yard shy of the marker. So a 9-yard carry for Helton, 2nd down and 1 on the way.
Yeah, Brody's in the zone right now. His ability to read the offensive line, good job by Bedford. I'd keep running him. If I was Bedford, Nick. He's just got, like Morrison's got the ability to break tackles.
Pitch right side on the ground as Helton could not reel in that wet football. He had to fall on it.
Yeah, Jack May
back at
made
the
a mistake there.
32-yard line.
Yeah, great quarterback, but that was not a good pitch, Nick, right there. If you look over the reverse pivot, actually that wasn't too bad. It was a little high, but not bad. I would say looked like Brody was looking downfield, Nick, as that pitch came. So I'll take that back. Sorry, Jack. Yes, that was definitely a catchable pitch.
They're going to lose 3, 3rd and 6. Actually, they lost 5, 3rd and 6 on the way. We're past the midway point, fourth quarter, coming up on the 5-minute mark. 3 receivers for Bedford.
They're going to pass.
May over the middle, incomplete, trying to find Westcott. Spellman right there. Kind of a bang-bang play, contact, but no flag, and a 4th down coming up.
And you can hear those Astro fans over there in the right, Nick, set of the stands going wild.
They've traveled well from Derry. As we mentioned, they brought the band with them, but perhaps the majority of the noise coming from the sideline itself. As the Astros are fired up now. They've got a two-score lead on the board.
Battle.
And an upcoming 4th and 6, an opportunity to get the defense off the field. Bedford going to go for it as May jogs back into the huddle.
They have to.
With 5:14 to go in this fourth quarter. So May,
here
the
it
senior,
is, folks.
He's got 3 receivers, 2 to the right. Helton is the pistol back. Pinkerton,
really interested to see what this play is going to be, Nick.
Pinkerton showing blitz here. On 4th, it's end off. Helton, left side run, knocked down, and stopped by Spellman at the line of scrimmage.
What a valuable player this young man is, Spellman.
The sophomore is fired up, holds Helton to no gain, and Pinkerton is going to take over with a short field. Officially at the Bedford 31-yard line.
Yeah, they're going to try to burn clock, obviously, Nick, and having a 2-score lead here is a big factor. So with 14-point differential, I am going to tell you that little extra point block by Jamie was a big deal because there's still a 14-point lead. So it's going to require at least a 2-point conversion and 2 touchdowns. So and Bedford doesn't have the ball. So it's going to be Coach O'Reilly talking to both McDonald and Morrison here, trying to line up, expect Morrison to get a lot of these carries, Nick.
Bedford with 2 timeouts remaining. And now Pinkerton is going to take their 3rd and final timeout. Offense not quite ready there. Coach O'Reilly going to gather the troops. So Pinkerton is out of timeouts. But more importantly, Bedford has 2 remaining as they trail 27-13. Again, it was a fast start for the number 4 seeded Astros. They scored 2 touchdowns, both coming on 4th down.
Yeah.
On their first 2 possessions. Jamie Isaac with a 53-yard touchdown run. Matt Morrison a 1-yard score. And then on the ensuing Bedford possession, Morrison picked off a Jack May pass, took it 32 yards to the house. 21-0 was our score after both the first quarter and at halftime. Bedford's offense came alive in the third quarter. A lengthy drive capped off by a 6-yard touchdown run from Brody Helton. Bulldog defense forced a 3-and-out. They got the ball back at their own 1-yard line. Pieced together a 99-yard drive.
Listen to the way you're talking, Nick. You talk about back and forth. I'm sorry.
That was capped off by a 55-yard touchdown from Brody Helton.
Sorry, Nick. I'm amped up here. This has just been a great game. And but to your point, Nick, you go back and forth.
It's been evened out, or has evened out really since that first quarter.
And the momentum changes of the psychology of this game has been back and forth as well.
So now Bedford needs a stop desperately. Quintilani on his 3rd carry on 1st and 10. Going to turn his back to the defense and survive a gang tackle attempt. He's whistled down at about the 26-yard line, a 5-yard gain. 2nd and 5 coming up. Well, you and I talked off air, Steve, at halftime. Some of these bigger backs for Pinkerton, extra ball security tonight. We see it there with Quintilani, 2 hands around the football.
You could just see the emphasis that Coach O'Reilly and his crew had put on ball security. Had time to plan for the weather, Nick. This is not something that just popped up.
Right.
They've known this for 3 or 4 practice days that this storm was coming up through the Atlantic. And so far, and how about Caruso hopping on that fumble earlier? I mean, that could have just... wow. These are just 2 great teams.
Hand off Morrison, little shake and bake. And it's smothered at about the 25-yard line. Not going to get much, maybe a yard.
Yep.
Again, Bedford with a number of players.
I think that was a broken play, Nick.
May have been. Matt Ben was there. And now Bedford is going to use their second timeout here, Steve, with 4:09 to go.
Yeah.
So the Bulldogs are left with just one remaining.
Yeah. You're forced to burn them here. Coach Matthews has no choice. I mean, this is it right here. Something's got to break for them if they're going to have any chance, Nick, at all. It's slippery to tackle a guy like Brody Helton. Interestingly enough, when Brody's running, he doesn't seem to be affected by this weather at all.
No.
And I think that's an advantage to keep giving him the ball. But when you've got Spellman just coming in and making open field tackles like that, roll tackles like that, Nick, and almost taking Brody down at the spot, those are the big things you look back in film and say, wow, another team that doesn't happen, that doesn't have the strength that the Astro team has.
3rd down and 4 out of the timeout. Pinkerton hoping to gain the 21-yard line. And that would really put Bedford in a tough spot.
Yes, it would.
Bulldogs still do have one timeout remaining.
You got to believe this is 4-down territory here, clearly. If you're going to go for it on your own 40.
Morrison right side run on 3rd and 4, looking for the edge, and that's going to be very close.
Yeah, I think he's going to have it.
Tackled at the 21. Poltoneri is there.
He's got it.
Along with Helton on the stop.
He's got it.
No signal yet from the officials.
They're going to bring it out.
Now they say move the sticks first down.
Yeah, he had it. It was on about the 20 and 3/4 line, Nick. Maybe almost to the 21,
right? And
he got almost down to the 20. So that is going to burn a lot of time with no timeout. Bedford has one. I'm sure Coach Matthews will burn it.
We're inside of 4 minutes now. 27-13. Pinkerton threatening to add to their lead as they're knocking on the door of the red zone. The football just inside the 21-yard line.
Tremendous respect for both of these bands coming out and supporting their communities and their team. They sound fantastic both sides of the field. Great job and great effort.
3 backs behind McDonald. It's like an overload to the left side with 2 tight ends left. And again, burning the play clock here. 4 down linemen for Bedford. Morrison on a 1st and 10 left side run. Gets through the hole, but not much more. Does cross the 20 and is down to about the 18-yard line. And now Bedford will use their 3rd and final timeout to stop the clock with 3:19 to go.
Yeah, this Bedford has missed Matthews, I think, in the second half, Nick. He's a key player on this offense. It looked like there was an injury, couldn't tell. It looked like they were kind of working on him on the upper half. And
looks like he had a bloody nose.
Like a bloody nose or something that they were working on. I don't know if he took a shot or not, but for Bennett Matthews to be out of the football game, there's got to be something that they just can't, obviously health reasons.
Right. We have not seen him in the second half at all.
Yeah, helmet off, I believe, but that hasn't helped the Bedford attack. No. But these guys have fought like warriors tonight, trying to get back in this game. I mean, a lot of teams would have been counted out, and this thing would have been a running clock, but not Bedford. They fought hard to try to get in it and change momentum. They had their chances, but everything has to go your way when you go into the half 21-zip, Nick. Everything.
Matt Morrison with a 50-yard touchdown run earlier in this 4th quarter.
What a run.
Gave Pinkerton that extra padding, so to speak.
Yep.
Turned it from a 1-score advantage into a 2-score game.
Yep.
And now threatening to make it a 3-score game again. 2nd down and 8 from the 18-yard line. Bedford now out of timeouts. Morrison, left side run, tries to get around the corner, does. He's at the 15, slices down to the 10, and that
he's got another first down.
Should be another first down for Pinkerton.
Yep, and if barring a fumble, Nick, that should do it, really, being up 2 scores, but never say die. You could get in this kind of weather, you could get a fumble in the backfield, a bad pitch, and you get a run back, and now you got 3 minutes left. But it's going to take something like that Bedford's going to have to attain. Got to take advantage of a mistake.
I'm interested to see where they're going to spot the ball, whether the 10 or the 11-yard line.
Yeah, good point.
Because, again, potentially, if it's at the 11, Pinkerton could pick up another set of downs near the goal line. They're going to spot it right at the 10, so that's a moot point. It's 1st and goal.
1st and goal.
Meanwhile, the clock ticking, down towards 2.5. On 1st and 10, Morrison, right side run, met by Sheff at the 10 and driven down right there. Sheff continuing to pile up tackles for Bedford. Morrison continuing to rack up yardage.
Yeah, they're fine with this, though, Nick. It's 2nd down after the first down. Just keep burning 35, 40 seconds off the clock here.
Well, we welcome in our audience, both local, statewide, nationwide, worldwide, here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire. We're broadcasting in conjunction tonight with the NFHS Network. Same deal tomorrow. We're in Exeter for a 1 o'clock kick between Londonderry and Exeter in the other D1 semifinal. Pinkerton trying to get back to the championship for the first time in 7 seasons. They're now 105 seconds away, potentially. Left side run for Morrison on 2nd down. He's dragged down by Westcott, who's also had a heck of a game defensively for Bedford. Going to limit Morrison to a 3-yard gain, and now a 3rd down and goal coming up with the football just inside the 7-yard line.
Yep.
Final minute 20 here. Well, this one is going to be sweet for a number of reasons for Pinkerton. One, they avenged their Week 6 loss on this field.
Yep.
But more importantly, they're going to have a shot to get Coach O'Reilly another ring for the first time in 7 seasons.
And, folks, do we have a beauty tomorrow? Nick will tell you about that.
Londonderry and Exeter. We'll preview that coming up in the postgame. Stats, highlights, analysis on the way as well. Handoff Morrison on 3rd down, trying to scratch out some yardage up the middle. Does gain the 5. Is marked down at the 4. So a 4th and goal coming. Poltroneri with another stop.
And they're feeling it now with 37 and ticking, Nick.
I think they have to run one more play.
I do as well.
Poltroneri dragged him down, I think, just outside of 40 seconds, which is, of course, the length of the play clock.
What a streak. Comes to an end tonight for Bedford, Nick, but what a streak they've had.
26 in a row.
26 in a row.
Is going to end here tonight, and the quest for the three-peat comes to an end as well.
And end respectfully in the sense that the fight that they played for tonight, these communities should still be proud of these Bedford Bulldogs. But, boy, I'll tell you, Pinkerton.
It was their night tonight. Meanwhile, McDonald fumbles the 4th down snap. There's still time on the clock. Now they run off the final 0.4 of a second. We're waiting
and
for
that'll
the
do it.
Well, hold on. The officials may add time here.
I did see Steve Hall signal a 1st down for Bedford, but I think
Pinkerton is celebrating regardless, and it looks like the officials are going to walk off the field. So Pinkerton going to win here on the road. 27-13 is the final score, and the reign of the Bulldogs comes to an end. Pinkerton will play for the championship a week from tomorrow against the winner of Exeter and Londonderry.
Nick, what a game tonight. Momentum shifts galore tonight. It's hard to beat a good team twice.
Right.
Really hard. Great job, Coach. What a year. Coach Donahue coming over to he's a first-class guy and an absolute brain at defense. What a coach. Congratulations to Bedford, first of all, Nick, for a phenomenal season and a 26-game winning streak in Division I.
Right.
What in the world does that mean when you start thinking about the teams that they've had to beat? But all eyes right now are on the Pinkerton Astros, Nick. Coach O'Reilly and his crew did a terrific job preparing this team. I think healthy is the key word, that they were healthy tonight. They were within 3 of Bedford before, and they were missing. Now, you take Morrison and Isaac out of the game, you probably wind up with a similar result, maybe not. But when those guys are in this football team with all of this, the work and the effort, and you look at the broad-based impact that so many players have had in the game tonight for Pinkerton, Nick, very few teams have been able to handle the Bedford second-half onslaught.
Right.
Pinkerton was able to do it tonight. They're going to the finals, and Coach O'Reilly back in the dance for the first time since 2017. How sweet this must be for him. I'm very happy for him myself personally.
Stats, highlights, analysis next. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include discount tickets, cards, and calendar raffles to hundreds of local merchants throughout the New England area. Don't waste another season. Raise more funds than ever before and become another football program in New Hampshire that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today. Colonial Printing is family owned and celebrating 50 years of quality print services for New Hampshire businesses and can help yours as well. Whether it's creative design, digital or offset printing, or banners and signs, with state-of-the-art technology, unlimited industry sources, and the ability to think outside the box, Colonial Printing will help you get your job done. To see their full list of services, promo products, and portfolio, or to request an estimate, visit colonialprintingnh.com. That's colonialprintingnh.com.
Well, what a great way to kick off the weekend here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, with a semifinal game to remember. Pinkerton, as you said, Steve, going back to the big dance under longtime head coach Brian O'Reilly after a 27-13 win here in Bedford. The Bulldogs' quest for a three-peat comes to an end. Pinkerton set the tone early. Scored on their opening possession on a fourth down from near midfield. Jamie Isaac turns what looked like a broken play into a 53-yard touchdown. Extra point good. Pinkerton led 7-0. Got the ball back after forcing a 3-and-out. And then rolled the dice again on fourth down. This time from the 1-yard line. They give it to Matt Morrison. He's in the end zone, and it's 14-zip in favor of Pinkerton. Ensuing drive for Bedford. Final minute of that first quarter. Jack May throws a pass that's intercepted by Morrison and brought back for a 32-yard touchdown, shocking this home crowd here at Bulldog Stadium. 21-0 was Pinkerton's lead after one. No change in score in that second quarter. 21-0 our halftime score. Then Bedford comes alive. They piece together nearly a 7-minute drive. It's capped off by a 6-yard touchdown run from Brody Helton, and they're back in the game at 21-7. Bulldog defense comes to the forefront. They hold Pinkerton to a 3-and-out. They get the ball back. They march down the field again. This time a 99-yard drive. The highlight, a 55-yard touchdown run from Brody Helton. Extra point was blocked. 21-13 our score going into the fourth quarter. Then Pinkerton took about 5 minutes off the clock before Matt Morrison turns a 3rd down and 2 into a 50-yard touchdown run. The senior with the hat trick tonight. And in the end, it's 27-13 as the Bulldogs run out of time. So Bedford's 26-game win streak is over. The two-time defending champions catch their first loss in the semifinal. Pinkerton is headed back to the championship round for the first time since 2017. They will look for their first championship since they did it over Bedford back in 2014. Steve, your thoughts on what ended up being a wet and wild one here in Bedford?
Yeah, wet, wild, and hard-hitting, Nick. Physical. The physicality never stops. Some of the hits in this game that you saw were just amazing. What was amazing to me as well was the fortitude in which both of the players on both sides wanted this game to get back. Bedford, two-time champions, trying to defend that for a third time. Think about that for a second. First loss of 20 in 26 games in Division I New Hampshire football. That is a feat. But like I said before the break, all eyes are on Pinkerton right now, Nick. This is a team that is, to me, has winner written all over it, and there are 2 teams playing tomorrow that I feel the same way. So it's going to be, regardless of who wins tomorrow, it's going to be a heck of a championship game a week from tomorrow. Pinkerton deserves all the credit in the world. They've battled injuries. Coach O'Reilly has shepherded this team through all of that, knew how to beat Wyndham, knew how to play the clock against a first-rate defense in the whole league, as far as I'm concerned, in the state. Defensively, he shepherded the team. We were there, we saw it, and then he comes here. And these guys this week must have had a hell of a week of practice and must have had a lot of motivation. At the end of the day, a coach can only do so much. The kids got to follow through in the field, and they did it. And if you can see the energy that's still in these guys, soaking wet, cold, raw, they're not feeling any of it. These guys are ready to roll. What a terrific season. And terrific semifinal game we got under the belt. We got a beauty at 1 o'clock p.m. tomorrow afternoon in Exeter.
Join us at 12:45 for our pregame coverage as Londonderry. They look to go back to the state championship game for the 5th time in 6 years. Exeter hoping for a return for a first time since 2019. All right, want to thank a few folks here. Of course, Corey Parker, my old friend, rolling out the red carpet as usual.
Sure did. Thank you, Corey.
We appreciate working with Corey and his staff, and, of course, our friends over at BCTV.
Thank you, Bill.
Including station director Bill Jennings. Always good to see him. And, of course, want to thank the sponsors as well. Beals Insurance, MG Sports Fundraising, the New Hampshire Tomahawks, and Colonial Printing. Want to thank Don Boyle of the NFHS Network, collaborating with us for another successful broadcast tonight.
Yep.
Same deal tomorrow. We look forward to that. And, of course, to our crew here at Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire. Rain, hail, sleet, snow, wind, whatever the conditions, we're here. And we appreciate John Barron spearheading the setup. Matt Beals providing us some clam chowder before the game.
Yeah, I wish I'd play some more now.
Appreciate that. And, of course, Kristen Beals keeping us warm up here in the booth and avoiding the deluges of rain that attacked us during the broadcast. We appreciate that. Of course, the whole thing orchestrated flawlessly by the man behind the curtain, the wizard of replay, our director, Ben Beals, back in the Beals Insurance Studios. For my partner, Steve Beals, my name is Nick Anastas saying so long. Final score, final time. Pinkerton 27, Bedford 13. This has been a presentation of our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.